Hello and welcome to today's session. Learning Outcome, LO3, understand vicarious liability and describe the tests used to establish it. Have you ever wondered how employers can be held responsible for the actions of their employees? Vicarious liability is a fundamental concept in tort law that explains exactly this. In today's session, we will explore the principles of vicarious liability, how it operates in practice, and the tests used to determine when an employer can be held accountable. Vicarious liability is a legal doctrine where an employer is responsible for an employee's wrongful acts. This occurs if the act is within the employment scope. It ensures accountability for those in control. The principle is crucial in employment relationships. It allows victims access to compensation. 3 elements establish vicarious liability: a relevant relationship, the act within employment scope, and the nature of the act. The relationship is usually employer-employee. The wrongful act must occur during employment. It should be associated with the employee's duties. These elements ensure fair liability distribution. The control test examines employer control over the worker. It assesses if the employer dictates work performance. Key factors include supervision and disciplinary powers. It's useful in traditional employment. However, it may not fit modern roles with autonomy. The integration test evaluates if a worker's role is integral to the business. It focuses on the worker's function within the organization. This test distinguishes core roles from peripheral ones. It highlights the worker's contribution to the business. However, it may overlook integral independent contractors. The economic reality test considers the overall relationship between parties. It examines payment methods and resource provision. The test assesses financial risk and independence. It provides a holistic view of employment status. However, it can be complex and subjective. This test examines if there's a mutual obligation for work provision and acceptance. It highlights the continuity of employment relationships. Key factors include guaranteed work and acceptance requirements. It's useful for assessing ongoing employment. However, it may not capture modern gig economy roles. The close connection test assesses the link between wrongful acts and employment. It considers if the act is an extension of duties. Employers may be liable if the act is foreseeable. This test reflects practical employment realities. However, its interpretation can be subjective. Lister v. Hesley Hall Limited addressed employer liability for employee abuse. The court applied the close connection test. It ruled the acts were closely connected to duties. Thus, the employer was vicariously liable. This case highlights the test's application in serious misconduct. Ready Mixed Concrete examined employment status using the economic reality test. The court evaluated financial arrangements and control. It concluded the worker was an independent contractor. This case illustrates the test's application in employment status determination. It highlights the importance of financial factors. Mohammed v. W.M. Morrison involved an employee's wrongful conduct. The court used the close connection test. It found the employee's actions closely related to their role. The employer was held vicariously liable. This case underscores the test's relevance in workplace misconduct. Casual and temporary workers pose challenges in vicarious liability. Their employment status may vary. Tests like control and integration help determine liability. Employers must assess the nature of the work relationship. This ensures appropriate liability attribution. Agency workers complicate vicarious liability assessments. The nature of their employment relationship is crucial. Tests help determine if the agency or client is liable. The integration test is particularly relevant. It assesses the worker's role within the organization. Priests and similar roles present unique vicarious liability issues. Their employment status may not be clear-cut. The close connection test often applies. It assesses the link between duties and wrongful acts. This ensures fair liability distribution. For vicarious liability, the act must occur in the employment course. It ensures acts are related to job duties. Employers are liable for authorized acts. Unrelated personal acts may not incur liability. This requirement balances employer responsibilities. Foreseeability is key in vicarious liability. It assesses if wrongful acts were predictable. Employers may be liable if acts are foreseeable. The close connection test often evaluates this. It ensures liability is fairly assigned. Each test has strengths and limitations. The control test suits traditional roles. The integration test highlights core contributions. Economic reality considers financial aspects. Mutuality of obligation focuses on employment continuity. Together, they offer a comprehensive framework. Courts apply tests based on case specifics. No single test fits all scenarios. A combination offers a balanced approach. Tests adapt to modern work complexities. They ensure fair liability distribution. Modern work relationships challenge traditional tests. Gig economy roles blur employment lines. Tests evolve to address these complexities. They balance traditional definitions with contemporary realities. This ensures relevant liability assessments. Case law shapes vicarious liability understanding. It illustrates test applications and outcomes. Lister and Mohammed cases are pivotal. They highlight the close connection test's role. These cases guide future liability assessments. In conclusion, we have learned that vicarious liability plays a vital role in ensuring accountability within the workplace. Legal tests, such as the control and integration tests, help determine when employers are responsible for their employees' actions, adapting to the changing nature of work relationships. A clear understanding of these principles is essential, as they strike a balance between protecting the rights of victims and upholding employer responsibilities. For any questions, please message us on WhatsApp at 0748436168. Our team is ready to assist you. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.